How you doing, gamers? This is John with Gamester81.com. In this episode, I'm going to show you some gameplay for one of my favorite pinball machines of all time, and that is called Star Trek: The Next Generation. This game came out by Williams in 1993. Now, Williams, the early 90s and mid 90s, was really the heart and peak of Williams pinball machines. They made some great tables back in the 90s. One of my also favorites is called Indiana Jones. It came out also in 1993. Back to Next Generation. This is the third Star Trek franchise or themed pinball tables that came out. The first one being based on the original Star Trek series. And this is the only one that, to my knowledge, is based on Next Generation. I think this is the last Star Trek pinball machine be released as well, to my knowledge. This was designed by Steve Ritchie, Steve Ritchie is really popular in designing a lot of famous pinball tables. And he's made some great designs. Initially, this table was supposed to be designed based on Under Siege, which is a movie that came out in 1992. What Williams did is they reached out to Paramount, who owns the rights of Star Trek, and they were kind of hesitant at first. They didn't want any violence or anything like that, and Steve pretty much told them, we're going to stick to the Prime Directive and not add any violence in this pinball table. And so here it is, Star Trek Next Generation. The cool thing about this table is it's very expensive. About 12,000 of them were produced. A little under, about 11,700-ish were produced. And they're very, like most pinball tables, they're not cheap to pick up today. You're looking at spending several thousands of dollars for a Star Trek Next Generation pinball machine, even though I'd love to own one someday. But, however, a game series called Pinball Arcade has been released, and what they do is they create emulators for classic pinball tables by Williams or Bally or what have you, and they decided to release Star Trek Next Generation. And this is kind of cool how it came about, because they also need to get the license of Paramount to use Star Trek. So they did a Kickstarter, and they raised over $100,000 in their Kickstarter. And in that Kickstarter, they were able to fund Star Trek Next Generation and the Twilight Zone, which recently came out. Now, for a while, Star Trek Next Generation pinball was only available through iOS. Most other pinball tables through Pinball Arcade are available through multiple platforms. Now it's available on PSN, Android, and other formats. It's not available on Xbox Live quite yet. The cool thing is, if you pick this up for the PlayStation Network, you can also not only play it on your PS3, you can also take it on the go with your Vita, which is pretty sweet. So it's kind of a 2-in-1, so definitely recommend that. But in this video, I'm going to show you the gameplay for the Star Trek Next Generation available on the iOS. I'm playing this on my iPad. Now, before I start, I want to show you the different tables they have available for Pinball Arcade. I currently have all of them downloaded on iOS. I also have them all downloaded on PS3, and I have it on my Vita as well. You go to my new tables, there's nothing really currently new. I've purchased them all. You go leaderboards, you can see the top scores of various things. I'm not currently logged in, but when you do log in, you can see top scores of other players. There's tournaments as well, which they schedule tournaments, which is neat. Let's go to my tables. I got Star Trek Next Generation Taxi, Theater Magic, Twilight Zone, which is cool. So let's go back to Star Trek Next Generation. You Hall of Fame points, there's table goals, there's different star levels you can get. You go to start. Doesn't take very long to load at all, as you can see, very cool. You can go to game setup, you can go to table menu, leaderboards, let's go table menu, instructions, introductions, activity, rescue, queues challenge, battles. So it tells you different things that you can do, play all, rescue. And let's do queues challenge and continue. So it shows you the different areas you're supposed to hit. You can scroll, activate this mission. It tells you where you're supposed to hit the ball. So there's definitely a lot of mini games within the game, which is awesome about pinball. Pinball is one of the things you can't really necessarily die. It's about, there's no death in pinball, so to speak, but you definitely want to accumulate points. In doing so, there's mini missions in it, and the more mini missions you complete, the more points you get, etc., and so forth. There's Rift, there's all these different mini missions. Time Rift, let's go to continue. Again, it shows you all these different steps. Okay, let's go back. High scores, let's go to extras. Table history, so it tells you a little bit of history about the table itself. It came out in 1993. USS Enterprise. I love Star Trek Next Generation, the series. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, to be honest with you. I've Little interesting fact, I've seen every Star Trek episode, every series, every movie. Custom ball. Let's do fire. You can scale up, you can move around, scale up, scale down. These are the promotional flyers that they would send out to the various arcades and bars back in the day. Custom ball. You can change the ball, different colors. You can smiley face. You can do the 8-ball, go back. That's cool. And go start. Controls are very easy. Now in the original arcade, there is like a phaser that you have to hit. But in this one, you just tap this, and to left and right bumper are these two things right here. Oh, missions. That's a beautiful. I mean, all the actors reprise their roles in this pinball, and they all did voiceover work. There's various camera angles. Let me show you. Oh, there's Q. So here's Q's challenge. You can see how it's an 8-ball now. It's pretty cool. The physics in this game really actually are really well, emulate very well. I want to try to cop the ball so I can show you the different camera angles here. And of course I can't. You get 3 balls, but there's also multi-ball you can get too. There's different camera angles. There's top down, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 different camera angles, looks like. Ball 2 locked. So now, get another ball locked, may I unlock multi-ball. Up. Got the Romulans. Or the Romulans, yeah. Those aren't the Romulans, they're the... Can't think of the species right now. Ferengi, that's a Ferengi, my bad. Couldn't think of the alien. Oh! I'm doing terrible. Ball saved, nice. I mean, really, pinballs are just works of art, for sure. That's Patrick Stewart's voice. Good luck. I'm curious what your guys' do you guys like Star Trek, and if so, what's your favorite? Oh, ball save, nice. Nice. Those bumpers always cause issues. Start rescue mission. I love the one thing I like about this pinball table is all the different ramps, different stories. Oh. I didn't save any personnel, but you're supposed to hit them where these things are blinking. So you can do a match. And nope, I had to get 40 and got 50. So it tells you my final score. And then if I was signed in, it would rank that towards other players as well. But like I said before, I'm not signed in. But curious, yeah, what you guys think about this pinball table? Have you ever played this before? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.